Type I civilization. A Type I civilization is a species that can fully harness and utilize all of the energy available on its home planet. This includes solar, wind, geothermal, and even tectonic energy sources. How much energy do they use? 10 to 100 quadrillion watts. Where do they operate? Exclusively on their home planet, but with complete control. They might even start managing global weather systems or natural disasters. When do civilizations reach Type I? Humanity is not there yet. We're around 0.73 on the Kardashev Scale, according to physicist Michio Kaku. At our current pace, it could take 100 to 200 years to reach Type I. How do they achieve it? By transitioning entirely to renewable energy, mastering nuclear fusion, developing global-scale infrastructure, and possibly using technologies like space-based solar power and climate engineering. Why does it matter? Becoming a Type I civilization means solving most of our planet's biggest problems: energy crises, pollution, climate change, and unlocking the next phase of civilization. A Type I civilization might be able to control hurricanes, tap volcanoes for energy, or instantly communicate with anyone, anywhere on the planet. Type II civilization. A Type II civilization can capture and control all the energy output of its home star. It doesn't just use solar panels, it builds megastructures like Dyson Spheres to harvest the full power of a sun. How much energy do they use? Around 100 septillion watts, that's billions of times more than what a Type I civilization consumes. It's like plugging into the engine of a star itself. Where do they operate? They dominate their entire solar system, harnessing energy from the star, colonizing planets, mining asteroids, and possibly building massive space habitats. When could this happen? It's hard to predict. If humanity ever reaches this level, it might take thousands of years, maybe longer, depending on technological breakthroughs in materials, AI, and energy transmission. How do they achieve it? Through engineering marvels like Dyson swarms, clouds of satellites orbiting a star to collect its energy; stellar lifting, removing material from a star to use as fuel; star-powered AI systems and fusion-based propulsion for space travel. Why does it matter? Becoming a Type II civilization means leaving the boundaries of a single planet, ensuring survival from planetary disasters, and becoming a truly spacefaring species. Some scientists speculate we might detect Type II civilizations by spotting strangely dimming stars, possibly caused by Dyson structures. One real example: Tabby's star, which baffled astronomers in 2015. Type III civilization. A Type III civilization can control energy on the scale of an entire galaxy. They don't just harness one star, they tap into billions of stars across the Milky Way or another galaxy. How much energy do they use? About 1 undecillion watts, that's 1,000,000 billion times more than a Type II civilization. Where do they operate? Across their entire galaxy, colonizing star systems, building Dyson spheres around multiple stars, traveling at faster than light speeds if possible, and communicating across thousands of light years. When could this happen? Likely hundreds of thousands to millions of years ahead of us, if it's even possible for biological life. Many theories suggest they'd be post-biologically ruled by advanced AI or consciousness uploaded into machines. How do they achieve it? Through ultra-advanced tech like galaxy-wide networks of Dyson swarms, wormhole travel, or warp drives; technosignatures detectable across space; self-replicating probes that spread their influence, even using black holes as energy sources. Why does it matter? Type III civilizations would be able to shape galaxies, avoid extinction from cosmic threats, and preserve knowledge for billions of years. They'd have influence over stellar evolution and perhaps even galactic scale engineering. Type IV civilization. A Type IV civilization can harness the energy of an entire universe. They operate on cosmic scales, manipulating the fundamental forces of nature and perhaps bending spacetime itself. How much energy do they use? Roughly 1 watts, the combined energy of all stars, galaxies, black holes, and cosmic radiation in the observable universe. Where do they operate? Everywhere, from the edges of the cosmos to the tiniest subatomic particles. They would likely be present in all galaxies, all corners of space-time, and possibly in extra dimensions. When could this happen? It could take billions of years, or never, depending on whether consciousness or intelligence can even survive on such a scale. How do they achieve it? By mastering control over dark matter and dark energy, universe-scale computation, manipulating the cosmic microwave background, engineering at the Planck scale, possibly creating artificial universes. Why does it matter? A Type IV civilization might be able to reshape the destiny of the universe, prevent cosmic heat death, and perhaps even reverse entropy or engineer new Big Bangs. They'd operate like the gods of science fiction. Some theorists suggest such entities might appear as laws of physics themselves. Type V civilization. A Type V civilization can access and control energy across multiple universes, not just the one we live in. This civilization operates beyond the boundaries of space and time, navigating an infinite multiverse. How much energy do they use? In theory, infinite. They draw from countless universes, each with its own set of physical laws, constants, and dimensions. Where do they operate? Across the multiverse, possibly moving between bubble universes, parallel dimensions, or higher dimensional realms. When could this happen? It's entirely theoretical, perhaps only achievable by civilizations that have already transcended physical form or exist as pure information. It might take billions or trillions of years, or it might never be possible. How do they achieve it? Brain hopping, interdimensional travel, simulation creation or traversal, multiversal computing or memory storage, existence outside time. Why does it matter? A Type V civilization could explore all possible realities, test every version of physics, and possibly design universes like software. They would not be gods, they would be the programmers of reality. Type VI civilization. A Type VI civilization has transcended the physical universe and the multiverse entirely. They exist outside of all known dimensions, space, time, and even logic as we understand it. Think of them as omnipresent, omniscient, and omnipotent in a scientific, not religious sense. How much energy do they use? Energy might not even apply here. They may operate using information, consciousness, or metaphysical principles. Where do they operate? They exist in realms outside of everything, not just parallel universes, but outside existence itself. When could this happen? Trillions of years into the future, long after the heat death of the universe. How do they achieve it? Complete consciousness uploading into higher dimensions, merging with the source code of reality, creating or becoming mathematical objects, controlling the birth and death of multiverses, becoming the observers that define reality. Why does it matter? Type VI civilizations might be the architects of reality, universal curators, or keepers of all knowledge. They'd understand the why behind the universe, not just the how. Type VII civilization. A Type VII civilization exists beyond existence itself. It is not just a master of universes, multiverses, or dimensions, it is everything. How much energy do they use? All possible energy across all realities. It might generate new laws of physics, birth new logic systems, or invent new kinds of existence. Where do they operate? Everywhere and nowhere simultaneously. Present in all timelines, existing in all dimensions. When could this happen? It's either eternal or beyond time, having no beginning or end. How do they achieve it? Merging with the substrate of all realities, encoding consciousness into the fabric of existence, becoming the source of creation across all logical systems, occupying infinite hierarchies of multiverses. Why does it matter? A Type VII civilization might shape reality with thought, collapse infinities into meaning, or create entire universes just to explore ideas, and some theories suggest we could be simulations within such a mind. Blending science with panpsychism, simulation theory, and the notion that reality itself is pure information. Thanks for watching. Please join as a member to support this channel.